night we suffered through 9 innings of drizzle. But a totally different story here today. Ball players are all pumped up. Both teams took batting practice on the field. Jose Bautista had a nice round of playing catch before the game. That shoulder appears to be getting better and better. So we are all set. Blue Jays had a dramatic win in the ninth last night. They won 6-4. Let's take a look at the lineup for John Gibbons. Blue Jays. Jose Reyes top of the order. Then Josh Donaldson. 5 home runs in his last 4 games. He and Brian McCann both have active 4-game homer streaks. Longest of the season. Nelson Cruz hit home runs in 5 straight games. What a return for Chris Colabello to the Twin Cities. 379 in the month of May. 3rd highest average in the American League, and his 2-run home run last night off Glenn Turkis was the game winner.
And don't you know, he took a lot of pleasure in hitting that home run and circling the bases. Felt great coming back to beat his former team. He'll get Kyle Gibson this afternoon, the tall right-hander. 6'6", 27 years old. Hit his 2nd full season in the major leagues. 4-3 record with a 272 earned run average. That's the lowest earned run average among Twin starters and 9th best in the American League. Had his 4th win of the season last time out, tying a season high, going 8 innings, allowing a run, no walks, and tying a career high with 8 strikeouts. He faced the Blue Jays for his only time last year, and he was dominant in that game. 8 innings of 4-hit baseball. He's going to be tough this afternoon. He's got a good fastball and a swing and miss slider. So the Blue Jays are going to have to be very careful with Kyle Gibson this afternoon.
Defensively, a little different look in the outfield. Eduardo Escobar makes the start in left field. Aaron Hicks and Eddie Rosario making his 8th start in right field. On the infield, it's Spoof and Santana on the left side. Dozier and Mauer on the right side. And Chris Herman making his 11th start behind the plate, giving Kurt Suzuki the day off.
Teams are starting to get those super sub type of players where they can play all over the diamond. Here's one of them right here, Eduardo Escobar. He has had starts at second base, shortstop, third base, and now left field, and he leads the team actually in outfield assists this year with 4.
Well, if you're going to carry 13 pitchers, you have to have versatile players, and Escobar is one of those versatile players. Here's the first pitch of the game to Reyes, swung on and missed, and we are underway. Jose Reyes, 2 more hits in last night's game. He had an RBI double in the 2nd. Was out advancing to 3rd to end the inning. Hits this one high into the air. It is a breezy afternoon. Dozier way out into right. Goes a long way to make a catch on that pop-out. Well, Josh Donaldson, we mentioned, he's homered in 4 straight games, including last night.
You know, and 3 of them have tied or put the Blue Jays up. This one tied it up in the 5th inning, on top of that high fastball. And he was able to drive the ball out in center field. I asked Brooke Jacoby today, I said, what makes Josh Donaldson such a good hitter? He said he uses the middle of the field. He's not a pull hitter. He doesn't slap the ball to right field. He uses the middle of the field from left center to right center. That home run last night, a perfect example of that. Donaldson
takes the breaking ball low, right on the bottom of the strike zone. 0-1. There's a good sinker at 94, but low. Kyle Gibson was drafted on the University of Missouri. He was a 1st-round pick. He slipped to 22, and we'll explain why he slipped so far. There's a bullet, and Josh Donaldson is on fire. A 1-out single to left.
He doubled his first time up in last night's ball game on a similar pitch that was in, and he yanked it to left field for extra base. Does the same thing here. He tries to throw that fastball inside, and with those quick hands, he's able to yank it through the 3 infielders on the left side.
A 1-out single sets the table for Jose Bautista. Bautista went 1 for 3 with a walk in last night's game. These Twins pitchers throw a lot of strikes. They come right at you. That has been their makeup for years here. Started with Tom Kelly, went right to Ron Gardenhire, and Paul Molitor has continued that theme.
Decades. They don't overpower you with stuff, but they throw a lot of pitches in the strike zone.
Nice play by Herman. Moving to his right to block that ball in the dirt.
Gibson's a little bit different than some of the people that we have seen take the mound for the Twins over the years. He's tall. He creates a great downward angle with his fastball. Stays on top of that ball, really drives it to the lower parts of the strike zone. His changeup has been a lot better this year.
1-1 to Bautista. Ground ball, base hit to left. Back-to-back one-out singles. Blue Jays threatening here in the first.
Well, let's take a look at the scouting report. This afternoon starter for the Minnesota Twins, Kyle Gibson. What does he throw? The fastball, about 92 to 94 miles an hour. He's got a four-seamer and a two-seamer. The slider, he throws that 18% of the time. It's about 85 miles an hour. It's a swing and miss type of slider. That's got a lot of bite and command. The changeup's a little bit better this year. He'll mix in an occasional curveball just 4% of the time. The changeup, I think, has been that third pitch that he's been missing over the last couple of seasons.
Edwin Encarnacion. He fouls back the first pitch. Blue Jays were threatening in the first in last night's game, but Trevor May was able to strand the bases loaded. Encarnacion got an infield hit to load the bases, but Russell Martin struck out and Colabello grounded out to end the threat. Ball and a strike. Encarnacion 0 for 3 against Gibson, going up head-to-head against the big righty.
You know, it must be so tough for pitchers in the first inning to face this lineup right out of the chute. You have got to bring your best stuff, or you're going to be behind early in a ball game.
Ground ball could be 2. Goof to Dozier, back to first, double play. Again, the Blue Jays strand a base runner in the time of the first. Gibson will get a lot of ground ball outs. The double play gets him out of the first. Cities in his first year as the manager of the Minnesota Twins. Now his team is playing well. They had a disappointing loss last night after having a 4-0 lead. Let's take a look at their lineup. Right at the top of the order, they got a real spark plug. And Brian Dozier, their second baseman, his last 28 games, he's hit 8 home runs and driven in 19 runs. He just missed a homer last night in the first inning. And Joe Mauer in the third spot. He is the second leading hitter among active players in the major leagues, a .318 average. He's a terrific hitter. Mauer always uses the opposite field, and last night he had a couple of base hits to left field.
Just a good hitter. Aaron Sanchez gets ready for his 10th start of the season, and it looks like he's finally starting to settle in. Going deeper into the ball games, he has pitched into the 7th inning in 3 of his last 4 starts. He's making his first appearance against the Minnesota Twins. That last start, 6+ innings back-to-back for the first time in his career.
He went 7 1/3 against the Angels and 6 2/3 against the Mariners. This is Brian Dozier. 9 homers for the season. He's an aggressive fastball hitter. Pops this one up back near the screen. Russell Martin Well, watch it sail into the seats.
Yeah, he's a fastball hitter and a pull hitter. He's got 45 hits this year, 30 of them to left field. You mentioned yesterday he just missed a home run. I thought he just missed two. He had two long fly balls. One was a double and one was caught on the warning track by Colabello in left field. But he will try and get out there and try and yank a pitch into the seats early.
Ball on the strike. And another foul back. What Sanchez has done lately to lead to that success, he's thrown more strikes.
Quality pitches and strikes with his fastball. Really established that fastball early in the ball game.
Late breaking curveball in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He hasn't worried so much about, quote, pitching, trying to hit his spots, changing speeds. Just, hey, do what you did when you were a reliever last year. That's what the Blue Jays told him. Just pound that strike zone with the fastball.
There's a high fly ball to right. Carrera moving back on the warning track. Has room and makes the catch. Had a little bit more room than he expected, but Dozier's retired 1 down. Defensively, behind Aaron Sanchez in the outfield, it's Colabello, Pilar, and Ezequiel Carrera in right field. Donaldson and Reyes left side of the infield. Goins and Encarnacion on the right side. Russell Martin starting for the 42nd time behind the plate for Aaron Sanchez.
And in the outfield and left field, the hero in last night's game. Well, one of them, Chris Colabello, 24 start this month in left field. Now the wind is really swirling today. You and I were down on the field and it is swirling, so the outfielders are going to have to help themselves. Colabello made a nice catch last night on a ball to left field. There are the flags.
This is Eduardo Nunez, who's the DH this afternoon. He did not play in the game last night. He's hit in 8 of the 11 games in which he's had a plate appearance. He's a free swinger. We saw him with the Yankees, and he was always up there hacking. Doesn't take many pitches.
Yeah, there's not a lot of free swingers, not guys in their lineup who are those type of hitters, but this is one of them. He's got some talent. He can run a little bit. He can play different positions, and he likes to get on that fastball.
Sanchez will give him plenty of opportunities to get on that fastball. He's going to use that fastball a lot.
I think that's why Nunez is in the lineup this afternoon for Paul Molitor's team. They don't hit a lot of home runs.
Martin wanted to give the umpire a good look. Lance Barksdale is behind home plate today. Full count. Joe Bauer is on deck. There's the strikeout. First strikeout of the afternoon for Sanchez. Sanchez in his first season as a starter starting to get his feet on the ground, feel more comfortable in that role.
Well, the numbers just keep suggesting that he's getting better and better and better. You can see in April an ERA over 5 and an average of 260. May much better at 330 and a batting average of 222. He's just eliminating the walks. He's being more aggressive with his fastball. He's filling up the strike zone with that fastball. He's letting the great natural movement that he has get a lot of outs, get a lot of ground ball outs.
There's a ground ball. Donaldson was shifted over into the hole. Good start for Aaron Sanchez. 3 up, 3 down with the strikeout.
Presented by Acura. Luxury begins with the new 8-speed dual clutch 2016 Acura ILX. Catch it if you can.
Target Field opened up in 2010, and there are a lot of Blue Jay fans that make their way into Minneapolis for this series over the weekend, and some young ones anxious for a Junior Jays Saturday at some point at Rogers Center.
That's a sweet jersey right there, isn't it? I like that.
Scoreless game, we move to the second. Russell Martin leads things on. We mentioned Kyle Gibson dropped to the 22nd round in 2009. On May 30th of 2009, he was diagnosed with a stress fracture in his arm. So obviously, when you're a big pitcher and the teams hear about a stress fracture, they're going to back off. So he dropped into the 22nd spot in the first round. A lot of people projected him as a top 5 pick.
What was that, a week before the draft, something like that, the end of May, right around this time? In 2009, I'll tell you what, you look at his body and his frame, I mean, he just looks like a big league pitcher.
He's 6'6". Pitched at the University of Missouri in that final start in which he fractured his arm. He tied Max Scherzer's school record of strikeouts, 131 strikeouts. So he is tied for the Missouri single season strikeout record with Max Scherzer.
And that was the game he got injured in?
Yeah, he finished up that game, and then they found out his arm was a little bit sore.
So he sets a record with a fractured arm.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Had a stress fracture in that arm.
That alone should get him in the top 5 in the draft.
So Martin fouls off the 3-2 pitch. Well, he was in some pretty good company at Missouri pitching. Aaron Crow was his teammate in 2008. Crow went 13-0 and was picked number 1 by the Nationals, and he opted out, played independent ball, and the next year in 2009 Crow was taken by Kansas City. Martin pulls it foul.
I might have been able to coach that team.
Yeah, pretty good.
With those guys on it.
They had one more starter on that team, Nick Tepish, who's a starter that has pitched with the Texas Rangers the last couple of years. That's pretty good college rotation. Russell Martin, boy, he had a big walk in last night's game. He walks here to start the second. Well, he walked ahead of Colabello last night.
Yeah, you mentioned the walk, and it was against the closer for the Minnesota Twins, Glenn Perkins. He walks ahead of this. First pitch, swinging. Chris Colabello, game winner, into the bullpen in left field. I asked him today, I said, did you know you got all that one? He goes, I had a feeling. I said, I was going to run like I knew I got it. And he did, broke it down quite nicely. But there is nothing like facing your former team and then doing that. Hitting a big home run to win a game.
Well, Colabello got off to a great start last year and actually wore out the Blue Jays in an April series, so much so that it really captured the Blue Jays' attention. And they kept an eye on Colabello, and when they saw they had a chance to sign him, they signed him to a minor league deal. Got a 9-game hit streak going. That one got the catcher, Chris Herman. Well, that's the one that is really tough on a catcher. You go down to block a ball, you expose your bare hand to the baseball, and then the batter fouls it off. You're thinking about blocking a ball, and you put your hands out to block it, and watch the mechanics of this. He's going to get down there, and then that ball hits him right on the tricep.
Did you see him shaking his hand out?
Yeah.
That reverberates all the way down into your fingertips, doesn't it?
Yeah,
when you get hit like that?
Up in there. Wow. He got hit pretty flush. Ball on the strike to Colabello.
If you had a little bit more speed at first base because you just saw the catcher get hit, don't you take off here?
That's not fair.
Yeah, it is. How about a delay steal right here? Gosh, a guy gets hit like that.
Foul tip this time. Herman was able to hang on to it. Yeah, it's not a bad idea when you get a catcher hit like that. Say, well, we never know how he's going to throw.
He might throw it into center field. You see him shaking off his hand like that.
A ball and 2 strikes on the Blue Jays left fielder. With a shot inside. They played Colabello slightly to pull. They played him a little more dramatically to pull on the infield last time, but Kyle Gibson throws a little harder, so you see where Dozier is. He's not as far up the middle as he was last night against Colabello.
Straight away in the outfield and deep in left field. Escobar, the left fielder, just a couple of steps from the warning track.
Another pitch inside off the plate. This is one thing we have noticed with Colabello. He's got a good eye at the plate.
Yeah, he puts together a good game plan before he gets up to the plate.
Ezequiel Carrera is on deck. Carrera went 1 for 4 in last night's game.
And he knows all about these pitchers. We saw him last night giving some tips to some of the Blue Jay hitters against some of the relievers coming in. They just didn't have a lot of information on some of them.
Yeah, they think Martin's going to run, and so do I. It's a good time to run him here. Get him on the move. Colabello is not blessed with great speed. If he hits the ball on the ground, it's almost a guaranteed double play. So put Martin in motion.
Yeah, make sure that you make contact here. Put the ball in play. And even if you ground out, you don't have a guy in scoring position.
Not running. Colabello grounds it to shortstop. The Dozier. Back to first. Double play. Second double play turned by the Twins. They told you Gibson throws a lot of sinking fastballs, and he'll get a lot of ground balls.
Yeah, and he challenged him with that fastball. That's the 45th double play that the Twins have turned. It's tailor-made right at the shortstop. Santana, Dozier to Mauer. Second inning, second double play that the Blue Jays have hit into.
Yeah, that's a good sign for Kyle Gibson that he can get his middle infielders engaged in this ball game early. A couple of double plays, 5-4-3 and a 6-4-3.
Well, he's a little wild right now. He didn't have a walk in his last game. 8 innings against the White Sox, no walks this afternoon. He's already thrown a ton of pitches.
That's a fair ball. Just inside the bag at first. That'll hit off the wall. That's Rosario out there today. Eddie Rosario makes the throw, but Carrera has a 2-out double. 4th double of the season for Carrera. It comes with 2 outs here in the second.
Now I bet you the Blue Jays wish they started that runner, stayed out of the double play right there, because Carrera would have played him with this ball. Aggressively yanks the ball right by Mauer down the line, and with his speed, he's thinking too. As soon as he hits it, and Carrera just ahead of the throw. 2-out double.
Eddie Rosario in left field today. He's making his 8th start. In right field. He's making his 8th start in right. This is Kevin Pillar. Pillar had a couple of hits. He was 2 for 4 in last night's game and scored a pair of runs.
Had a couple of at-bats yesterday where he ended up with base hits, but the defense helped him out a little bit. And Gibby was talking about that before the ball game, saying those types of hits can really get a guy going. It's been a struggle for Pillar in the month of May. Find a couple of holes like that, get your confidence going, and maybe spark something.
Well, when you're struggling like Pillar, and believe me, I've been there, every pitch appears to be on the corner about knee high.
Yep. And it's almost like you walk into that batter's box and it's 0-2.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Ball looks about the size of an aspirin, but you just have to just battle and just keep plugging away. They'll start to fall for you.
152 average over his last 10 games. But the one thing you'd like to lay out for Pillar is, hey, you're going to play in the outfield every day. You're going to play center for sure.
Well, that's one thing that hasn't suffered. Even though he has struggled with the bat, he still plays superior defense in center field.
the plate. 3-1. Ryan Goins is on deck. Do you think we have seen it now 2 nights in a row? Trevor May was a strike thrower. Now Gibson's a strike thrower. Do you think the Blue Jays lineup has anything to do with them not being aggressive?
I certainly do. I think the Blue Jays' reputation and the great big bats that they have a lot to do with it. You know, we've made this point before in the past that the Blue Jays have run producers, but they're not wild swingers. They're very calm, especially that guy right there. Jose Bautista has got one of the best eyes in all of the American League. He won't chase pitches.
Full count, 2 down, no score. We're in the second. There's ball 4. That's 2 walks in the inning. Well, the Blue Jays have plenty of offense. It surfaced again last night. 6 runs on 11 hits and a couple of home runs, and this team can strike, and they can strike in a hurry. Runs per game this season in the American League, the Blue Jays over 5, almost 5.25 runs per game, well ahead of Kansas City, Minnesota, the Yankees, and the Rangers.
Mark Burley was talking about that today, that because of this offense, he said, even though I was behind yesterday, I said if I could keep it close with this offense, I got a chance to win a ball game. Averaging over 5 runs a game. That's pretty impressive.
Ryan Goins takes the first pitch strike. Ryan, he had a hit in the 9th against Perkins. His 5th hit against lefty pitching this season. That's going to reach the seats down the left field line. Well, Mark Burley's effort last night was a terrific lesson for any pitcher. You can't let one inning ruin your whole start. He got down in the first inning, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, and then said, that's it. And you make a great point about the offense. The pitcher just recognizes who he's pitching for and just keep the damage at a minimum. He got a chance to win.
Yeah. He certainly does, and didn't panic, just went out there and just threw strikes. I asked him, I said, did you know you were coming back out there in the 9th inning? He said, if we took the lead, I was out of the game, but then I talked myself back into the game.
There's a great feeling for a pitcher to be able to walk off the field with your team, and it doesn't happen very often anymore, but Burley was able to do that, and he helped his own cause with a terrific defensive play, final out of the game.
They were going batter by batter. If he gave up a base runner, he was going to be out of the game, and battled back and finished it off.
Ryan Goins behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Carrera at second, Pilar at first. Inside, now 2-2. This is the one thing that the Twins have recognized with Kyle Gibson. He can get ahead, but he doesn't have a real distinctive wipeout pitch. He doesn't have a nice sharp breaking ball. He doesn't have that 4-seam fastball he can blow by you.
You know, they call them finishing pitches. He hasn't been able to finish off at bats.
There's a drive to left field. Escobar is there, and the Blue Jays will strand 2 more base runners. They've stranded 3 through the first 2 innings.
for you. Log on to My Blue Jays and enter the code MBJ5293 to earn My Blue Jays points just for watching the broadcast. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage. Code must be entered by 11:59 tonight. Look for a new code tomorrow. Just another benefit of being a Blue Jays season ticket holder, Buck.
And we want to make sure you log on to all of our broadcasts, so we appreciate the support, and we're going to keep score, too. So log on. Let us know you're watching out there. We move to the bottom of the second. No score in this ball game. Sanchez delivers the first pitch strike to Trevor Plouffe. Plouffe has taken over every day at third base, and he's done a terrific job. Paul Molitor was telling me around the batting cage today they've really been pleased with the improvement he's shown defensively.
And offensively, he was the only guy to get a hit after that first inning yesterday against Mark Burley. Shot a ball to right field. That was it. He only had 2 base runners after the first.
Had a 1-out single in the 6th, and that was erased on the double play. Now Sanchez falls behind Plouffe 3-1.
In a way, Aaron Sanchez is a lot like Kyle Gibson. Both of them. They're tall. They've got long arms. Their fastball's got a lot of movement on it. Sanchez, the difference, he's got a finishing pitch. I think his curveball is going to be really good. It's getting better. He's gaining more confidence in it. It's a finisher.
And so is the fastball. 95 upstairs, and he punches out Trevor Plouffe. 2 strikeouts now for Sanchez.
You know, after those first few starts for Aaron Sanchez, he said, you know what, I got tired of walking people, so I'm going to start attacking hitters like I did when I came out of the bullpen last year and just use the fastball. Keep it down as much as I can and let the great movement that he has with it work for him.
You know, we have talked about this in the past, and you talk to the longtime scouts, the old timers, and they'll sit around the press rooms and they'll tell stories and spin yarns, but they always talk about a player's face, and they'll talk about a player having a good face, which to me means he's got confidence. You can see he's into the game. Sanchez has that, and you see him on the mound, and we see it more and more with every start. I mean, he believes in what he's doing.
And when you talk to him, I mean, he talks like a pitcher, doesn't he? He's got all the lines that pitchers talk about. I got to stay in my lanes, and I've got to do this, and curveball is starting to get a little slurvy, things like that. I mean, he's a pitcher.
This is Eddie Rosario, who is in left field this afternoon. Rosario, as Pat mentioned earlier, one of the super utility players. He can move around. He's got a mini 4-game hit streak, 6 for 14.
I'll tell you what, he's another guy that goes up there like Nunez. He'll swing it. He's got great hands. Could really take the barrel of the bat to the baseball.
Eduardo Escobar's switch hitter is on deck. 1 out. Another pop out of play. As pitchers pitch deeper into games, the hitters can really give you a lot of confidence when you've got your good stuff. Sanchez throws one right down the middle, and you can see Rosario can't get around on him. So you got to build on that and take advantage of that. Up the middle, base hit. First base runner for Minnesota comes with 1 out here in the second, and as Sanchez gets more experience under his belt, he's pitching with much more confidence.
How about that for consistency right there? Look at that. 6 walks down to 5, 4, 3, 2. So I guess today it's going to be 1. As he just gets better and better every time he takes the mound. I think he's gaining a little bit more confidence. I think he's understanding him and what it means to win and pitch effectively at the big league level.
This is Eduardo Escobar. Escobar came over from the Chicago White Sox in a 2012 trade in July for Francisco Liriano, who has since gone on to Pittsburgh.
And he's very popular in the clubhouse. Escobar, very popular.
Infield set up for the double play. Twins have turned 2 double plays so far this afternoon. There goes the runner. Russell Martin's throw is in time. Boy, that was bang, bang. Mahler's already out of the dugout. He said, I'm going to check that. He didn't even hesitate. He said, give us some time here. But it looked like the throw was late, but Martin has been so good at unloading in a hurry.
Throw was a little bit high. As you see, Reyes takes the throw. It's a little bit high. He's got to come down. He tapped him right on the shoulder. But according to the second base umpire, that's Eric Cooper, the crew chief. He says he got him in time. Rosario, you can see that dive into second base and the quick tag by Escobar, or excuse me, Reyes, finishes off the runner.
Escobar flies out, she's second. Rosario thrown out for the first time this season, and Reyes blocked him off the bag. Sanchez getting help from his defense.
In Detroit, race 2. It goes tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on City and Sportsnet 1. And if the weather's anything like it is here in Minneapolis, should be a great day for racing. But
well, it sure should be, Barry. It is a perfect day. You see the river just a couple of blocks away, and it's a beautiful shot. Downtown Minneapolis, and the city is divided by the Mississippi River, and everybody enjoys that. When the sun is out here, they'll be on the bike paths up and down on both sides of that river. Jose Reyes, he made a nice play on that steal attempt. So they were able to gun down Eddie Rosario for the first time. Had his foot right in front of the bag, and Rosario slid right into his foot and never got the second.
So the hand never got to second base. That's 15 caught stealing now for Russell Martin. He's been awesome this year.
Reyes takes it inside. It's 2-0.
Tell you what, Blue Jays are really making Kyle Gibson get the ball over the plate. They are taking some tough pitches right off the plate and really working them over.
Well, it's interesting because the bullpen for the Twins was worked last night. 6 relievers pitched in that game. Off the glove of Gibson, Reyes hustling to first. The ball is thrown wide. Reyes is aboard. He can't advance as Joe Mauer comes down and plays the carom off the screen in front of the Twins dugout. That could be a base hit because it was deflected by the pitcher, and Dozier had to change directions.
Yeah, it was a do-or-die play, so it's got to be an infield hit for Jose Reyes. This one looked like it was heading towards center field, but it's deflected by the pitcher. Dozier, his only play is to barehand it and make a good throw. And that will be an infield hit for Reyes.
Jose's third hit of the series. Josh Donaldson, he's singled already this afternoon. Well, Donaldson, look at these numbers. He's got a 19-game hit streak against the Twins. .431 average, 31 hits in those 19 games, 11 doubles, 3 homers, including the one he had last night. No OPS over 1.1, almost 1.2.
Gosh, if only he could do something with those 19-game hit streak. He'd only do some production or something.
Coming into this game, this is the 19th game. His team, the Oakland A's, last year, the Blue Jays this year, have put up a 15-3 record during his 18 games, stringing hits together.
And knowing Josh like you and I know him, that's the numbers that he cares about.
We talked to him about his leg kick this morning, and I asked him, has he always had the leg kick? He says, yeah, I had it as a kid. High school, then I went to college, and they started throwing me sliders, and college coaches suggested I tone it down and try to get grounded a little bit. But he brought it back, and it's a key part of his success. There goes Reyes. The ball goes into center. Reyes gets up, and he'll move to third. Reyes picks up his fourth steal, goes to third on the air by the catcher. Herman has thrown well, but Pat, you made a great point. He got hit by that foul chip in his throwing arm early in the ball game off the bat of Chris Colabello.
And this one isn't even close. Look where this thing is. It almost hits the umpire as it heads its way out into center field. He had thrown out 3 of the 7 base runners trying to steal against him, which is really good for a backup catcher. But that will be his first error of the season.
And that looked like that might have been a situation where that arm tightened up on him after getting hit back in the second inning. Infield is in. Right to the third baseman. Reyes will hold on at third as Donaldson is thrown out. Boy, this is a situation where you could almost guarantee a run this part of the order. Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion with a runner at third and nobody out. Now there's one down.
And early in the ball game, it's the third inning. Paul Molitor brings his infield in against these guys. It worked against Donaldson. Let's see if Jose can catch that runner in.
Bautista singled through the left side of the infield his first time up. What's Bautista looking for in a situation like this?
Well, he's a good hitter and he's a good run producer, so he's looking for something out over the plate that he can hit into the outfield. He knows Kyle Gibson's got a good sinker and gets a lot of ground ball out, so he's got to make him get that ball up. See him take that ball right there? Just want to lay right off of that one. Those are the kind of balls that you top. You hit on the infield, and that's not going to score the run. So he's looking for him to get it up so he can get it out.
Well, he's got a good eye. He hasn't lost any of that. He has been able to maintain his good eye. Now they're going to put him on. They fall behind 3-0, and they'll just go ahead and give him the intentional walk. So Bautista has reached base in both of his plate appearances here this afternoon. So now Edwin Encarnacion, who grounded into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play in the first, has his cage wrapped a little bit by Paul Molitor.
Yeah, anytime you walk a guy in front of you, a lot of hitters, they take it personal. Say, oh, okay, you think you're going to get me. Edwin has to have the same approach as Jose had right there. Make him get that ball up. You see he's already hitting the one double play today.
First and third, one out. Right on the corner. Reyes singled off the pitcher, stole second, went to third on the air. Bautista was given the intentional walk. The Blue Jays have stranded 3 base runners already in this scoreless game. Ball in the dirt. Bautista thought about it but couldn't find the baseball. Herman blocked it and kept it right there at home plate. Bautista did the right thing. He took an extra step, but when he couldn't locate the baseball, he had to hold on.
Yeah, he's always thinking. He knows that if he can get to second base, he'll be in scoring position and take that double play. Possibility from the Minnesota Twins. Good play by the catcher.
Two and one now to Encarnacion. Now 3-1. Pitching very carefully again, and obviously he's in a tough spot. We have seen this time and time again with pitchers trying to work through Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion. It's a tough trip.
Yeah, they're not going to swing at that pitch right off the plate. They are very disciplined, and they know the strike zone.
He takes ball 4. That'll load the bases. So an intentional walk followed by a walk. And now the bases are loaded for Russell Martin. Martin has 4 career grand slams. That's Neil Allen, the first-year pitching coach for the Twins. He's going to the mound.
Well, you were all over your assessment of Kyle Gibson, that he doesn't have that finishing pitch. Doesn't have a strikeout. He's got good movement with his fastball, but he's nibbling. He's nibbling against the Blue Jays this afternoon. He's in trouble every inning.
Well, the Blue Jays lineup will make you do that. They're intimidating. This is the most potent offense in the baseball in major leagues. Fewest strikeouts per 9 innings. You can see Kyle Gibson is the pitcher with the 3rd fewest. He's right there with Guthrie and Burley. Gets the breaking ball over for a strike to Martin. Top of the 3rd at the scoreless game. Boy, the Blue Jays up and down the order. They have been patient.
Very patient. A couple of those pitchers are just off the plate and they just won't swing at it. You can see the approach right there from Russell Martin. He's thinking back through the middle, trying to keep that front shoulder in for a long time.
Lays off that pitch. Martin walked in his first at bat. He's gone through a little bit of a dry spell. Coming into this game, over his last 7 games, just 3 for 25.
And he has been stuck on 23 RBIs for a long time. This will be a perfect time to snap that streak.
2-1. That's going to reach the seats. Well, right now, Russell, you can bet he's thinking about putting the ball in play toward right center, just staying on it, not rolling over, not pulling the ball on the ground. Blue Jays have already grounded into 2 double plays here this afternoon.
Changeup.
Pretty good pitch.
That's the pitch that has really come to life for Kyle Gibson this year. The batting average, they're only hitting 116 against that changeup this year. That 3rd pitch, that 3rd option as a hitter you have to think about.
Another choo-choo pitch to Martin. Fights it off. Gibson comes home. Herman sort of first. Double play. Third consecutive inning that the Twins have turned to double play. This one goes 1, 2, 3. And the Blue Jays strand another base runner.
Presented by Acura. Luxury begins with the new 8-speed dual clutch 2016 Acura ILX. Catch it if you can.
Many ways to move around in the Twin Cities, and that streetcar will bring you right to the ballpark. And Target Field is a couple blocks from downtown. A lot of Blue Jay fans on that particular car. And there are a lot of Blue Jay fans in the house. Good crowd on hand. Looks to be close to capacity here at Target Field today. This is the catcher, Chris Herman, leading things off. It'll be 7-8-9 for the Twins. He's late on that fastball as Sanchez jumps ahead 0-2.
Well, the Blue Jays have had their chances early in this game. Just haven't been able to push a run across against Kyle Gibson. Aaron Sanchez, on the other hand, hasn't broken a sweat first 2 innings.
Yeah, he has been able to face the minimum. Gave up a single, but he was thrown out. There's that curveball. Another curveball. This one misses. Now it's 2-2. They can't get around on his fastball, and it's good at 97.
You know, he's got a lot of movement on that fastball, but he really hasn't been able to command it where he can get outs on both sides of the plate. I think with that great movement, when he learns to tie up lefties with that fastball in the inner half, he's going to be good.
Ball is hit hard, and that ball is a fair ball. It's a home run. First base umpire Quinn Walcott now signaling home run as it hit above the green wall. And Chris Herman has his first home run of the season.
You know, Buck, we saw DeMarlo Hale and John Gibbons talk about this yesterday when they went over the ground rules with the umpires. That right field, is it over the wall for a home run? Does it have to go into the seat for a home run? Where that ball was hit, it just had to reach the area above the green wall for a home run, and that first base umpire, Quinn Walcott, was all over it. Fastball, inner half, and he turns on it. Right down the line. Watch where it hits. It doesn't have to go into the stands. Just has to clear that wall.
Yeah, it was above the wall, hit against that steel fence, and the Twins have a 1-0 lead. First home run of the season for Chris Herman. Torrey Hunter getting the day off, having a little fun on the bench, and he'll bring that kind of joy to a ball club, that's for sure. This is Aaron Hicks. He's a switch hitter. They have 3 switch hitters in this lineup again this afternoon. Escobar, Hicks, and Danny Santana, who's on deck.
He was going to give up switch hitting, Aaron Hicks.
That has been kind of a familiar theme of late. We've heard Daniel Nava of the Red Sox give up switch hitting, and recently there's been a lot of talk of Pablo Sandoval doing the same. Giving
Hicks,
up the right-handed side.
Right. And Hicks had been a switch hitter since he was a little kid. He just having a lot of problems at the big league level. But then thought about it over the wintertime, and here he is.
Shane Victorino did it last year, but that was injury related.
Out of necessity, right.
More than anything. He just couldn't stand the pressure on his hamstrings batting left-handed. And now Sanchez, after the leadoff home run, he walks. Hicks first walk of the afternoon. Well, this might be a perfect time to play hit and run. Got your number 9 hitter at the plate. Just walk Aaron Hicks. Sanchez has already given up a home run, and Santana can put the bat on the ball.
And you've got speed at first base. This might be a perfect time for it.
They show bunt, and Santana takes ball 1. Well, anytime you can move the lineup over, we've talked about it all season long with the Blue Jays. I think Paul Mahler's thinking the same thing. Brian Dozier on deck, hit 9 home runs. Ball in the dirt. Martin does a good job. He got enough glove on it to keep it right there at home plate.
Russell Martin wants this ball away, and it's a fastball back to the inside part of the plate, and the Blue Jays catch break. Ball hits Russell right in the face mask and drops straight down.
Little looper down the left side. Colabella will watch it drop into foul territory. This is where I think baseball should consider what they do in football. Give the pitcher a little headset and let Mark Burley talk to him.
We could go on the bench and talk to him.
But I mean, during the inning, you know, just like quarterbacks get all that information from the bench. Just have Burley say, hey, listen, you're okay. Throw one down, get a ground ball, get out of it. You know they're going to score a lot of runs for you. Just minimize the damage.
Minimize the damage. I guess you could go take a tape recorder out there, put it in your back pocket, turn it on.
No, I think you need a headset, just a little microphone inside. They do it in football. You can do it in baseball. Talk to them. There goes the runner, and Goins will go to Reyes quickly. Out at second, out at first. Boy, good read by Goins. He recognized he had just enough time with the runner hits running on the pitch to get it to Reyes quickly. And once they got the out at second, first was never a question.
Yeah, Hicks initially shuffled off the bag. You can see right there, it's a hit and run. And a heads-up play by Ryan Goins to backhand that ball. You throw it hard to the shortstop to finish off that double play. Boy, that's a confidence builder right there for a young pitcher.
Back to the top of the order, but now there are 2 outs. And Sanchez throws a strike to Brian Dozier. Dozier flied out to right field his first time up. There's a pop-up. This is playable on the infield. Donaldson, the third baseman, gives way to Reyes, the shortstop, and the inning is over. Sanchez indeed minimizes the damage. Chris Herman leading off the third. Hits his first home run of the season, a solo shot just over the wall in right. Chris Colabella was the leader of the pack.
All the great sluggers that the Blue Jays have in their lineup. Donaldson, Bautista, Martin, Encarnacion, on and on and on. It's Chris Colabella has the best on-base plus slugging percentage. He's come along at the right time for the Blue Jays with the injury to Michael Saunders. They had an opening in their lineup, and Colabella has taken advantage of it.
Gibson throws a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Colabella set a Twins franchise record for RBIs in the month of April, last April, when he drove in 27 for the Twins. He was red hot to start the season. That record was set by Kirby Puckett. Puckett had 26 RBIs, and Colabella broke the late Kirby Puckett's record. Of course, he was an iconic player here in Minnesota. I think if Kirby Puckett knew Chris Colabella, he'd be very pleased that Colabella broke his record. Chris is a baseball player.
He's a baseball player. He's a good guy.
He loves the game.
And he loves the game of baseball, just like Kirby Puckett did. Kirby loved the game. I remember coming in here the last weekend of the season, and, you know, we're out of it. And Twins were out of it at the time. And Puckett's out there every single day, early batting practice, trying to get better.
There's the first strikeout of the afternoon for Kyle Gibson. One down. Ezequiel Carrera had a double his first time up back in the second. He was one of two base runners the Blue Jays stranded in the second. Overall, they've left 5 aboard today.
Boy, they have been, for the first 3 innings, 1 hit away from scoring runs and really putting a lot more pressure on Kyle Gibson. He has been in trouble in every inning. Partly his doing. He has had 4 walks already today.
One intentional walk. That was to Bautista in the third to set up the double play, and then Gibson on his own walked Encarnacion. That loaded the bases, but he was able to get the 1-2-3 double play to end the inning.
Blue Jays have had a stolen base, an error by Minnesota. Then they've had 3 hits, but they haven't been able to score a run. Second straight strikeout for Kyle Gibson, this time with the breaking ball. That ball disappears on Carrera as he swings right over the top of it.
First 2 strikeouts of the afternoon, both coming on that breaking ball. Kevin Pillar, one of the 4 walks issued by Gibson. All of a sudden he's gotten a good feeling about that breaking ball.
I wonder if that run that they scored last inning gave him a little confidence. He's now pitching with the lead. You know, he still has to throw strikes with his fastball. Looked like he was nibbling a little bit first couple of innings, and maybe the message from Neil Allen was, hey, you got a good fastball, throw it in the strike zone.
There's a changeup, 85, and late sink on that changeup. It's an effective pitch for him.
It's been a great pitch for him this year. His usage is up by about 5% this year, and the batting average, slugging average are all down, and batters are chasing it more this season.
This is kind of a trend we have seen around baseball, where a pitcher gets off to a slow start, but he gets 5 or 6 starts under his belt, and all of a sudden everything comes into form. Very good ERA in May. Opponents hitting just over 200 against him. And you know what my point is about that? Why don't they get ready in March?
Yeah. Why does it take till May to get ready?
Well, we have talked for 2 days now to Bert Blyleven, the TV analyst for the Twins, and of course he's the Hall of Famer that's been a big part of his career right here with the Twins. There's a deep drive to left. This ball is headed for the seats, and Kevin Pillar has tied it up. His second home run of the season, and we're knotted up at 1. Well, the Blue Jays, they can strike anywhere in their lineup, and they've done it again this afternoon.
Down at the bottom today, Pillar looked like another changeup. Well, he went back to that changeup and didn't get the depth or the movement that he got earlier in the count with it. That one just stayed right on the inner half of the plate for Pillar. He stayed back long enough, kept his hands back long enough, and then drilled it out of here. Watch him. Watch the hands. He sees it, keeps him back, and he's got enough power to finish off that swing.
Ryan Goins gets on one outside, and looks like he's going to get some more pine tar. Lost the grip on that bat handle.
Boy, that'll make you feel good, right? You're Kevin Pillar. He's been struggling lately, and Gibby said it before the game. A knock here and a knock there, you start getting confidence.
3 hits in the series so far, and they can bunch up when you play every day. 2-1 to Goins. Blue Jays with 5 hits. Now 3-1. Reyes is on deck. One swing of the bat has changed the approach of Kyle Gibson.
Looked like he was being very aggressive this inning, and that one changeup left out over the plate.
There's a deep drive to center field. This ball's hit a ton. Get up, ball. Off the wall. Goins is turning around second. He'll stop there. He's in scoring position for Reyes. Boy, he hit that a mile.
Probably, excuse me, Buck, the toughest part of the ballpark to hit a home run. Right center field, because you got to clear that wall once again. 3-1. He's looking fastball, and he gets a fastball. He gets all of this one into right center field. This ball is clubbed to the gap, and it's a high wall. Ricochets off the wall. Extra bases. That's how you hit a 3-1 fastball right there.
Fourth double of the season for Ryan Goins. He's in scoring position now for Reyes. Jose had a double in the third. He drives his first pitch into right, but Rosario is there, and he catches it just in front of the wall in right. But the Blue Jays with a 2-out home run off the bat of Kevin Pillar. His second of the season, has tied it up at 1-1. Pillar goes deep on the low pitch, hits it over the wall in left.
The Houston Astros open up the month June 5th through the 7th. You get to see former Blue Jay Colby Rasmus. Then you have some interleague play with the Marlins and Mets coming to town. Stanton, what a guy he would be to watch. Then back to the American League East with the Orioles June 19th to the 21st. It is Hamilton and the Rangers June 26th to the 28th. And then at the end of the month, it is the Boston Red Sox coming to town June 29th through July 2nd. Go to BlueJays.com for tickets. That is quite a busy month at home for the Blue Jays, Buck.
Boy, it sure is, Barry, and you highlighted all the great stars that'll come in with those respective teams. Of course, Josh Hamilton is on fire. He had 2 home runs in the game last night against the knuckleballer, Stephen Wright.
Prince Fielder.
Yeah, he's red hot. That's a 1-1 game. Eduardo Nunez leading things off. Nunez today is the DH. Tries to bunt and fouls it back.
See, I don't like that. A 1-1 bunt attempt.
No.
It's got to be perfect or it's 1-2.
Yeah, and also leading off an inning, trying to hit a double.
Yeah. You know, 1-1, you try and bunt. If it's not perfect, you're thrown out or it's a foul ball, and you're now hitting 1-2. And you're hitting second in the lineup. You're hitting in front of some big hitters.
Nunez is not a real base stealing threat. And he fouls off that high sinker ball. Aaron Sanchez gave up a solo home run to Chris Herman to start the third. That's how the Twins got their run. Kevin Pillar answered with a solo home run with 2 outs in the top half of the fourth. There's the leadoff walk. That will bring Joe Mauer to the plate. He grew up here in the Twin Cities, former #1 pick. A terrific athlete, and he's done a lot of great things throughout his career. He was born right here in St. Paul and became a star early on. 6 All-Star appearances for Joe Mauer. and he was the American League MVP in 2009. He's also won 3 batting titles.
2001 graduate from high school right here. He played baseball, basketball, football in high school, and he's the first Minnesotan.
Russell Martin's throw is on the money again. Boy, oh boy, he is really throwing the ball well as Nunez is gunned down again.
Boy, a leadoff walk and 1 pitch into it. See ya. Caught stealing. He's so quick behind the plate. He's got that low center of gravity. You can see he catches, I want to call it side saddle, where he's turned just a little bit. That makes him a little bit quicker when he comes out of there, firing out of there, throwing strikes down there. 14 out of 31 coming into this game. He's 2 for 2 this afternoon.
Looks like Mauer is waiting for Paul Mahler to give him the go-ahead. Mauer's still out of the batter's box, and now the Twins have given up their opportunity to challenge that call.
Finish your thought on Joe Mauer. He's the first Minnesotan to be picked #1 overall in the Major League Baseball draft.
And there's a base hit down the left field line. Colabello gets over, plays it off the wall, and that was a big caught stealing by Russell Martin. That saves Sanchez a run for sure as Mauer doubles.
Well, if you don't have blazing speed and you're hitting in front of Joe Mauer, you better not steal, because he's going to score you from first base. Russell Martin throws out that runner. That would have been a run, I think, for the Blue Jays. Mauer, he's done this for a while, hasn't he? Slapped the ball the other way, extra bases. Very tough to defend him because he can hit the ball all over the ballpark.
Foul line to foul line, 3-time batting champ. We mentioned that. That was his 11th double of the season. Trevor Plouffe struck out on a fastball his first time up. A couple of good pitches, and Sanchez is ahead. And now Plouffe wants to regroup. He asked for time. He said if he's going to make those tough pitches, I need a little more time to think about it. It's 0-2.
Those are good pitches. Good hard fastball.
Plouffe's been one of the better clutch hitters for this Twins ball club. There's a breaking ball hammered down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Mauer's around third. He'll come in to score. And the ball bounces out of play. So the Twins have retaken the lead. Plouffe with his 27th RBI, back-to-back doubles here in the fourth.
Okay, that's what he had to think about right there. He had to think about getting a curveball, and it's a hanger. Try to sweep that ball to the outside part of the plate. It stays into the middle. The Twins have done such a great job this year hitting with runners in scoring position. I was talking to their hitting coach today, Tom Brunansky. Says that's the type of team we are. We can't go up there like the Blue Jays and just pound the ball over the fence. We have to have good at-bats. We have to stay calm. We have to stay confident in those tough situations. And they have really done a good job hitting this year with runners on base.
This is Eddie Rosario. Takes one outside. Rosario singled to center his first time up, then was thrown out trying to steal second by Russell Martin in the second inning. Ball and strike. Brunansky's message to his hitters in these run-producing situations is the pitcher's the one that's in trouble. Make sure you know what you want to hit and be patient enough to get a good pitch to hit.
And make contact. Shorten up your swing if you have to. Make contact. Put the ball in play any way you can.
Minnesota got off to a 1-6 start, and then around April 14th things started to click. You see their record, 27 wins, but look at the scoring position numbers. 315 when runners in scoring position.
You have to have a lot of confidence as a hitter in those tough situations like this. Guys on base. I think if you could make it simple and have one positive thought when you're in the plate. And I love Bruno's message. You know, make contact. The pressure is on the pitcher. Just put the ball in play. good things are going to happen. And they've been happening since April 14th for the Twins.
3-1 to Rosario.
Ball four.
So that's the second walk of the inning, third of the afternoon, issued by Sanchez. And after 5 straight games with decreasing walk numbers, he has walked 3 here this afternoon.
Boy, and Russell Martin's play to begin this inning, throwing out that runner, proves very big. That's another base runner taken off the board.
It's the only out of the inning. Nunez walked and was caught stealing. Pete Walker out to talk to Sanchez, and this is a ongoing process for the younger starters, experiencing things for the first time at the major league level. This is the 10th big league start for Aaron Sanchez. Eduardo Escobar. Way outside, snap throw to second. Reyes does a good job of flagging down that throw. It was on the third base side of second.
Hey, any way you can pick up teammates. Russell Martin always thinking about ways to get him out. You can see Pooh for the secondary lead, and Reyes sneaks in behind him.
One and one now to Escobar. Fastball ran off the plate, up and away. Hit into the seats down the left field line. Escobar flied out to left field his first time up. Two balls and 2 strikes. Another good at bat with a runner in scoring position. These Twins will battle you.
Make contact, put the ball in play, put the pressure on the defense. Boy, the one thing a pitcher wants to see in these situations is a guy up there with holes in his swing where he can just attack that place and try to get outs. You've got guys like Escobar who we're seeing, and Rosario, guys with short swings and tough to strike out. That's the last type of hitter you want to see.
Chris Herman homered his last time up. He waits on deck. OJ's turn to double play in the third. Strike 3 called. Sanchez finds that inside corner. Escobar is called out on strikes. Third strikeout for Sanchez.
That can be a good pitch for him, where he's got that ball going away to the left-handers. If you can bring it in the inside corner like there and just freeze those hitters with 2 strikes, that's a pitch. If he can master that, it's going to be a good pitch for him.
Russell Martin has talked about that cutter as a potential pitch that will serve that purpose. This is Chris Herman. He homered to right. Ball on the strike. Trevor Plouffe at second. He drove in the go-ahead run with a double to the left on a 2-strike curveball. Eddie Rosario walked. He's at first. 2 hits, 2 walks in this inning. It's a game of adjustments, isn't it?
Yeah, right now Aaron's got to make the adjustment to the lefty. That ball's going up and in. Maybe he can throw a pitch like he did to finish off Escobar, just to get him throwing the ball inside. Everything has been away.
That was away, and he had a good cut. That ball out over the plate, not a problem. Sanchez has tried a cutter from time to time, but right now it's not a finished product, and Russell Martin is hesitant to use it.
Yeah, he says eventually he's going to have to get that cutter / slider, something in on the left-handers, so they can't keep diving out over the plate.
There's that comeback fastball, back-to-back strikeouts to close out the 4th, but the Twins have taken the lead. A run on 2 hits. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. Already 1 for 2 this afternoon. We've talked about Madison and his leg kick. Pat, it's a dramatic leg kick, but one that works very well.
Yeah, one we didn't realize was so much. You can see how he bounces on that back leg, and he's loading up on the left side. You can see how high that leg is when he is coming down. I think Jose Bautista has had an influence on him on that type of leg kick. He's always had it. Very pronounced right now with the Blue Jays. Really loads up on that back leg. A lot of times hitters will use that as a timing mechanism, and you can see him hold up on an off-speed pitch, and it helps him to stay back on a slow curveball.
Outside, 1-1. And Donaldson told us earlier today that when everything came together for him in 2012, he said, that's when I started to understand myself as a hitter. The leg kick was a big part of it. That's tapped foul. This leg kick has been around for quite a while in baseball. Mel Ott used to have it with the Giants when they were in New York. And how about Sadaharu Oh, the great home run hitter in Japan? Look at the similarities of that leg kick.
I thought Oh had a high leg kick. Josh Donaldson's got him beat. That knee is about belt high when he is loading up.
Sadaharu Oh hit 868 lifetime home runs. Played for the Tokyo Giants for 22 seasons. Off the end of the bat, Hicks breaks back first, and now he's got Kroon, and Donaldson is retired, 1 down.
Save during Canada's Color Expert Sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Jose Bautista has been on base twice so far this afternoon. About time for him to hit a home run, don't you think?
Yeah, it's been a while since we have seen Jose at his home run trot.
Especially in this ballpark.
Yeah, he's playing right here in his favorite ballpark. Well, I'll tell you, if Kyle Gibson won't challenge him, Jose's not going to swing the bat. He has already walked one time today. He's also had a hit. And now with the lead, pitching very carefully to Jose.
Backhanded by Plouffe at third. High throw. Mauer comes off the bag and tags Bautista. Plouffe does a good job of taking the backhander, and Mauer helped him out with that 6'5" frame over at first.
High throw. Looked like it was heading down the right field line. Plouffe has 3 errors this season. Ball gets on you quickly at third base when you got those big hitters like Bautista. There, Mauer finishing off the play at first.
Two down. Edwin Encarnacion. Edwin didn't get a chance to have BP on the field. He was anxious to get a good round of extra BP out on the field, but it rained. Tarp was on all afternoon yesterday. I bet you a hamburger this game doesn't end up 2-1.
All right, tonight you're on.
Both of these clubs are good at scoring runs. Certainly the Blue Jays are the best in the business. Popped up left field. The left fielder Escobar got a late break. Now he recovers and makes the running catch. Wind blowing that ball all around and left. 3 up, 3 down. The Blue Jays are down in order to the top of the 5th.
Finalist named last night, and tonight we will find out who the Tampa Bay Lightning will be playing. It's Game 7, Blackhawks, Ducks, and it goes on CBC tonight at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. Boys, who do you like in this Game 7?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great game, but the Ducks at home, I think, might have an advantage as they got those big guys that move them around on the ice. What a terrific semis this has been for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Both games going 7 games. A rarity, but it's been a terrific Stanley Cup playoffs.
what is that, the third time we were talking about that today?
Yeah.
Both conference finals.
Went to 7 games, I believe it is. Aaron Hicks tried to bunt to get aboard. Bottom of the 5th, Minnesota has a 2-1 lead. It is 8-9-1 for the Twins here in the 5th. There's a base hit into center field for Hicks. A leadoff single. Aaron Hicks has walked and singled so far today.
Looked like Aaron Sanchez got under that ball just a little bit, and you could see it's up in the strike zone. Got some help from his defense last inning after a leadoff walk. And now he's got to deal with the number 9 hitter.
Danny Santana, the shortstop, batting .231 as we speak.
Blue Jays turned a beautiful double play in this situation a couple of innings ago. Hicks was at first base. They tried to hit and run by Danny Santana, and Ryan Gowen made an exceptional play, being able to turn over that double play.
There's a fly ball to left. Colabella to his left. Hicks is halfway. He'll go back to first. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Beautiful afternoon here at Target Field. The Twins have a 2-1 lead. One out for Brian Dozier, the second baseman. He bends back from that hook in there for a strike.
Boy, that's a good first pitch. I mean, the book on Brian Dozier is he goes up there swinging. Early in the count, he loves to sit on that first pitch fastball of an at-bat. So he throws him an off-speed pitch.
Pulled foul. Sanchez quickly ahead, 0-2. Think back to the Trevor Plouffe RBI double in the 4th. He had 2 strikes. Sanchez threw him a curveball and it stayed up in his zone. Plouffe drove in Joe Mauer from second.
Yeah, he wanted to sweep that breaking ball away from Trevor Plouffe and stayed in the middle.
This is a fastball fouled over the screen.
He's pretty quick in there, isn't he? Dozier?
Yeah.
That ball was up and in. He was still able to get the bat hit through.
Well, he's a lot like Jose Altuve and Dustin Pedroia. Because they're not big statured guys, you think you could blow them away with that fastball. That's not the case at all. All 3 of those guys jump on inside fastballs. There's a fastball that catches the top of the zone. Dozier didn't think so, and he's letting Lancaster Barksdale know about it.
Thought that ball was up. It's the 3rd time in the last 2 innings that Aaron Sanchez has used that comeback fastball. First time against a right-handed batter. High enough, close enough. With 2 strikes, you got to swing.
5 strikeouts for Sanchez. Dozier is 0 for 3 so far. This is the DH, Eduardo Nunez. There goes another runner. Throw is on the money. But Russell Martin gets hit by the backswing, and the umpire has called the runner out for interference. Molitor out to argue. Martin appears to be okay. But there was contact made by the batter, Nunez. And Lance Barksdale never hesitated. He called him out immediately for the contact made on Russell Martin.
Watch the finish. Hits him right in the head. And that's a no-no. It sends Russell down, but the Blue Jays sends them into the dugout ready to hit.
Final continues tomorrow on Sportsnet. It's Kelowna against Oshawa, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, tomorrow on Sportsnet. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. And, of course, great hockey action tonight with Game 7. We move to the 6th. Russell Martin, boy, he's had some day. He's thrown out a couple of base stealers, and then he got punked in the head with a backswing by Eduardo Nunez. Thank goodness he catches with that batting helmet on. Hit him right in the top of the head.
Knocked him right to the ground, didn't it?
The scoring on that play is batter's interference, and the base runner's out 2 unassisted. Martin has a leadoff single here in the 6th. So Martin's aboard for a second time. Boy, he just took that pitch and stroked it into right.
Well, that's what he has to do. If Gibson's going to stay away from him, that's a breaking ball down and away. You'd be crazy to try and pull that ball. Just shoot it the other way. You can see he's got that nice leg kick like Josh Donaldson. Stays back on that breaking ball and hits it hard to right field.
Gibson closing in on 100 pitches, and with that, the Twins bullpen is up and working. Well, Labello drives it into right. This is going to sink and drop. Martin read it good, and he is in the second. Got a good break on the read. Russell Martin is at second base. Back-to-back hits. Let's check it with Barry Davis.
As you were talking earlier about the quick start that Colabello got off to last year, he told me today the big difference between that and what he's happening this year to him, 2 things. Number 1, he had a thumb injury that really affected his swing. But number 2, he said after that huge month of April, he started looking at his stats, looking at his numbers, thinking each game I need to go 2 for 4 to keep the average up. And he really got caught up into that, so that when he started to struggle a little bit, he really could not get himself out of it. This year, he says he doesn't even know what his batting average is. All he wants to do is go up and get a good at-bat every time he can. He says, it sounds cliche, but all I want to do is help my team win any way I can. And he's definitely been doing that so far this year.
He sure has. That's his first hit. He's 1 for 3, and Carrera bunts it, and it's a beauty. Herman gets on it, and the ball gets away. Here comes Martin. He's going to score. Colabello will stop at third. What a terrific bunt by Carrera. Herman's throw was a low throw at first, and the Blue Jays have tied.
Herman, the catcher, had a decision to make. That ball was bunted so well by Carrera. He had a decision: do I let it go or do I try and pick this ball up? And he makes a decision that that ball is not going to roll foul. So now he's got to come up and firing, and it's in the dirt. Dozier can't pick it up. This is perfect, textbook. Get the ball down to the third base side, and when this ball gets away from Dozier, 1 run's going to score, and runners at second and third, and nobody out.
It's a sacrifice for Carrera. The catcher Herman charged with an error. There's no RBI on the play, but it's a choo-choo game. Kevin Pillar homered in his last at bat. Chopped foul at the plate. The bullpen double-barrel action for Minnesota. The right-hander is Ryan Presley. The left-hander is Brian Dunsing. They both pitched in last night's game.
They finished off the 7th inning, 1-2-3. And they're both up. They're the early guys for Paul Molitor's team. Early guys out of the bullpen.
Ball and a strike to Kevin Pillar.
Boy, they have had Gibson on the ropes all afternoon, haven't they? They left 5 guys on through the first 3 innings. They got to bust through now.
They are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And Pillar makes it 0 for 6 as he strikes out. 1 down.
Luxury begins with the new 8-speed dual clutch 2016 Acura ILX. Catch it if you can.
Two ball game. Blue Jays have scored a run here in the 6th. Back-to-back singles to start the inning. Sacrifice bunt and an error contribute to the run. 1 out for Ryan Goins. The infield is in. Hopped up and playable. Third baseman Plouffe battling the sun makes the catch. Goins retired on the 1 pitch. Paul Molitor making his way out of the Twins dugout.
You know, this is the same situation as we saw yesterday. They wanted to get to Reyes and turn him around and make him hit right-handed. So they're going to do it again. They're going to bring in the left-hander Dunsing to face Reyes.
It's just an inning earlier than the situation in last night's game. Kyle Gibson is out. Dunsing is in. Reyes will bat. Last night, Dunsing retired him on a ground ball. Well, Jose Reyes has been down this road before. Brian Dunsing came into the game in last night's game and faced Reyes. It was just an inning later. Last night it was the 6th. This afternoon, excuse me, it's the 6th this afternoon. Last night it was the 7th.
It was the 7th as he finished that off. There are his numbers right there. He is a starter early in his career. Is now basically a relief pitcher. 256 relief outings for Dunsing. And they want to turn Jose Reyes around. Jose's just had 2 hits this year right-handed.
First pitch called a strike. Reyes grounded out on the first pitch from Dunsing in last night's matchup. The ground ball to short. Way outside. Does it help a hitter to face the same pitcher in consecutive games out of the bullpen?
Sure. He knows a little something about it. You mentioned he only saw 1 pitch last night. Paul Molitor had this circled in his scouting report that he wanted to make Jose hit right-handed.
Good fastball. 1-2.
He has done that now 3 times in the last 2 games as Reyes with a wild swing.
Reyes for the season just 2 for 16 against lefty pitching. You'll remember when he cracked his rib, he tried to go exclusively right-handed and batted righty against righties for a while, but that didn't work. No swing, said Quinn Wilcott down at first. Reyes was able to check his swing.
A little bit too anxious right there on that pitch from Dunsing. Turns the ball over and Jose's swinging, and that's what you do when you see strike 2, how he swung so hard and almost fell down. You take a little something off, throw it off the plate, see if he'll chase.
Reyes chased that high pitch. Blue Jays stranded pair, but they have tied it up here in the 6th. The Twins committed an error that let the Blue Jays tie it.
Well, they will shave their heads. Yes, they are going to shave their heads to rally support for childhood cancer live on Blue Jays Central June 8th. You can support the cause and learn more at sportsnight.ca/shave or text the word HERO to 45678 to make a $10 donation. I think anybody out there should be considering making a donation to see Jamie Campbell with a shaved head. Buck?
It's a great cause, and we applaud the boys for making that statement, and certainly we want to encourage everybody to contribute to that cause. This is Joe Mauer, as Eduardo Nunez was called out with batter's interference. He hit the catcher Russell Martin with his backswing and kept Martin from having an opportunity to make a strong throw to second, so Nunez was called out. Mauer doubled and scored the second Twins run in the fourth. And that was after Russell Martin had thrown out Eduardo Nunez trying to steal second.
Yeah, or that would have been another run. Blue Jays would have been still behind. I think Russell all by himself today has saved the Blue Jays maybe 2 or 3 runs with his defense.
He's been consistent with his ability to throw out potential base stealers. Knocked down by Encarnacion. He stays with it, and Sanchez gets to the bag. Boy, an athletic play on both sides. As Encarnacion knocked it down, he stayed with it and then made a throw to Sanchez, who's athletic enough to reach behind him, catch the ball, and get the bag with his foot and eventually with his glove as well.
Yeah, good play all the way around. First, Edwin from his belly throws the strike over to Sanchez, and he touches the bag. It looked like he rolled his ankle over that bag, but then just to be sure, he touches it with the glove, just and gets out of the way.
A good play by both of them.
I think this is a good move right here by Russell Martin to go out there and talk to Sanchez to slow things down. It looked like he might have rolled that ankle.
Well, and if nothing more, at least to help him catch his breath. He's got to sprint over to first, and in the excitement of making that play, you have a tendency to see the stars for a moment. So Russell Martin said, I'm going to go out there and help my youngster out. One down, Trevor Plouffe. On the ground, base hit up the middle. Plouffe is 2 for 3. Plouffe has flourished as the cleanup hitter in this Twins lineup. They have juggled a lot of different combinations, but he appears to be comfortable with batting fourth. That is Aaron Loup loosening up. Blue Jays got the night off last night with Burley going 9.
So that's 2 days in a row with the off day on Thursday and then a complete game yesterday.
There's another base hit. This will drop in front of Carrera. Plouffe stops at second. Eddie Rosario, 2 hits and a walk. Perfect day.
He can hit, and he hits early in the count. He was looking for something like a fastball early. You see Pete Walker on the phone to see if Loup is ready to face Escobar. John Gibbons looking at his scorecard. He goes up there swinging right off the end of the bat, softly into right field for another hit.
Well, Loup is the perfect pitcher for this situation. You've got switch hitter, lefty, and 2 more switch hitters. And Loup is tough on lefties and righties. Eduardo Escobar, the left fielder. He cuts on the first pitch. Breaking ball for strike 2.
You've always got the ground ball when you've got Aaron Sanchez on the mound because of that good fastball that's running down and away.
Ground ball, foul outside of first.
I mean, you're always one pitch from getting out of trouble because he's got that good hard fastball.
The only thing, you just have to trust it. Let it work. Don't try to muscle it. If you throw it naturally, it's going to sink, and you might get that double play ball you're looking for. Plouffe at second, Rosario at first. So fly ball to left. Colabello backing up. Cliff goes back to tag at second, and Colabello gets it in quickly.
Save during Canada's Color Expert Sale. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Chris Herman, the batter, with 2 outs. Sanchez gets ahead with that fastball away. 95. He hasn't lost a thing on his fastball.
No, it is free and easy with good movement. Just concentrate. Just keep the ball down. Tough to get hurt if you keep the ball down.
Good curveball. You saw Sanchez over 100 pitches, but he didn't look at all tired, fatigued. He is into this game. It's a 2-2 game.
Doesn't look winded at all, does he?
No.
After that play to start the inning.
Oh, Martin wanted that one in, and I can see why. Looked like it touched the inside corner.
What a good setup pitch.
Throw it again.
Yeah.
Come right back inside. Curveball on the ground. Encarnacion will go to the bag. The inning is over. Sanchez strands a pair and keeps it a 2-2 game. We'll go to the 7th. It'll be Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion.
July 14th in Cincinnati, Ohio, the home of Pat Tabler. Help make Josh Donaldson, Jose Bautista, Devin Travis, Russell Martin, and Edwin Encarnacion starters for the American League. Fans are allowed to vote a maximum of 35 times per email address. Vote early, vote often at BlueJays.com. And guys, how's this for Josh Donaldson? Of his career 77 home runs, 18 of them have come in the 8th inning or later. I asked him about that today, and he says this goes back to when he was a kid. Whether he was playing baseball as a kid, he'd always imagine he comes up in a big pressure situation. If he was playing basketball, he would count down a clock in his head, making it the last shot of the game. This is something that he's always lived for, and he has just been tremendous with the Blue Jays when it comes to these late game situations.
Boy, he sure has, Barry, and he's got another one of those opportunities against a new pitcher. It'll be Ryan Presley, who appeared in the game last night.
And he was good, perfect. 2 for 2, 2 strikeouts, good fastball, power, curveball. The Rule 5 guy that they got from the Boston Red Sox organization. That fastball right there handcuffed the catcher. Right over the top with the fastball, right over the top with the curveball.
Presley struck out Pilar and Goins, his only 2 batters in last night's game, and there's ball 2. What a different scenario for Presley here this afternoon with Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion.
See what you're made of right now. And Barry was just talking about Josh Donaldson and how he's able to handle those pressure situations. He's an intense guy.
He pops this one up to right. Now the ball is drifting away from Mauer, and he stays with it. Rosario, I wasn't sure if he saw the ball or not, the right fielder. But Mauer stayed with it, and he had the best angle as far as the sun goes. He was looking away from the sun as he makes that running catch in foul ground.
Right fielder just didn't look real sure of himself on this ball. The wind is swirling, we told you, and it's actually moving from the left field corner to the right field corner. Blew that ball away from Rosario. But Josh Donaldson, he loves those situations. He's an intense guy. You know why I think he does so well? Because he's not afraid to fail.
Yeah.
He doesn't put that kind of pressure on him. If he fails, he fails. But he's the kind of guy who loves it and really loves the pressure situations.
Jose Bautista has singled. He was walked intentionally. He's grounded out to third. Bautista was looking for that pitch. He sat back, sitting on the breaking ball, and fouled it off.
A little bit late. Hanging breaking ball like that, you got to hit it out. And at least we've seen Jose do that in the past. It's not easy.
Fastball now fouled into the fourth deck. 2-2 ball game. We're in the 7th. Blue Jays won last night 6-4. Pulled on the ground to the shortstop. Santana has it. Fires to Mauer. 2 down. The Blue Jays scored the tying run in the 6th on an error.
And had a golden opportunity to take the lead also. Second and third and nobody out, and they couldn't bring them across.
Pilar, Goins, and Reyes all retired to end the inning.
They had bases loaded and just 1 out and could not score a run. That was back in the 3rd inning.
Encarnacion goes too far. Ball on the strike. Up and away, and Edwin wasn't sure that was a strike. And now he's got a battle 1-2. He's behind.
Looked like that ball had a little cut on it. Stayed away from Edwin. Presley was impressive in last night's game with a couple of strikeouts, and now he's handled the middle of the order so far.
Got Donaldson to pop out, and Bautista grounded out. Presley has retired all 5 Blue Jays he's faced so far in this series. He strikes out Encarnacion. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 2-2 game.
Pittsburgh takes place tomorrow, May 31st. Exclusively available on the WWE Network for only $11.99 per month. Visit WWE.com/Canada. And by the way, Tabby, I've been reminded by a number of people on Twitter, you now officially owe Buck a hamburger. And I'll bet you both a burger that it's not going to end the way it is right now.
Well, that's kind of a lock, huh, Barry?
That's not fair. That is not fair. And I will buy that hamburger tonight. I don't know where, but wherever. Aaron Loop into the ballgame. This is the 21st time that we have seen Aaron. First time that we have seen him in this series. Here is number 1-2 with a .491 earned run average for Loop. Righties 250s, lefties 250s. Batting average against Aaron. He's done a good job of commanding the strike zone. He's only had 3 base on balls this year.
It's ahead of Aaron Hicks, who's a switch hitter with the first pitch. Sanchez goes 6 innings, charged with 2 earned runs on 7 hits. Changeup pulled in the hole. Reyes deep. Throws not in time. Hicks aboard. Leadoff single. He hit it in the perfect spot. He pulled that changeup deep in the hole at short.
Further enough away from the third baseman and hard enough where Donaldson can't go over there to get it. But soft enough where the shortstop can get to it, but really doesn't have a play. No chance for Jose Reyes to throw out Hicks.
Danny Santana. He too is a switch hitter, batting right-handed for the first time today. He shows bunt and bunts it right back to Loop. Loop's going to go to first and take the sure out. Hicks runs well. He slides in safely to second. So Santana executes the sacrifice. His 4th of the season.
And that's the play right there. Russell Martin will take control in that situation right there on a bunted ball out into the infield and let the pitcher know where to throw that ball. You got to make that play at first base. If they're going to give you an out, you've got to get an out somewhere. The manager can then manage. If you start throwing the ball into the outfield or the guy's going to be safe, then you're going to have problems. Luke takes the sure out over at first base.
Brian Dozier 0 for 3 so far. He'll throw him a first pitch changeup way out of the zone. We have talked about Dozier throughout the series being a very good fastball hitter, and he loves to swing early in the count.
So you throw him something off speed. Aaron has thrown a lot of quality pitches, and he's been around the plate. And I think hitters are starting to pick up on that, so they're being very aggressive.
There's a ball driven into the alley. Carrera is going to have it go off his glove. Hicks is around third. He's going to score. Dozier is being waved now. He's stopped at third as Goins gets the ball in quickly. And the Twins on the triple by Dozier have taken the lead.
Heck of an effort by Carrera, and he almost comes up with it. Dozier, he's not just a pull hitter. We talked about how he can pull the ball for extra bases. He put a charge into that ball in right center field. Fastball, he goes down and gets it, and this ball is going to be slicing back to Carrera. Watch the effort as he goes up to get it. Hits right off of the heel of his glove. And unfortunately for the Blue Jays, it ricocheted all the way back into center field. Rolled right along the wall at center field, allowing Dozier to get the third.
Nunez fouls back the first pitch.
And close, where it didn't. He almost had an inside the park home run. Watch how far this ball just ricochets away from the backup man, Pilar, and he gets it in quickly. Well, that would have been an inside the park home run.
Nunez looking down to Gene Glynn, the third base coach. Nunez can handle a bat. They might think squeeze here in this situation. Dozier's a good base runner.
Maybe safety squeeze. And Luke throws a lot of strikes.
Ball on the ground. Dozier took a couple of steps toward home and then stops with 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. That's good news for Tampa Bay. That's his 9th home run. He had been bothered with some wrist injuries, and he is back healthy once again. Wei-Yin Chen gave up the Souza home run. This is Joe Mauer. Mauer's double went to left field off Sanchez in the 4th. Mauer is 0 for 4 against Luke.
Boy, he's got such a pretty swing. You pitch him in, he tries to pull. You pitch him away, he shoots it the other way. We have talked for the last 2 days, as you see Mauer's classic left-handed swing, how well they have hit with runners in scoring position. Joe Mauer over 400 coming into this game with runners in scoring position.
426 at the start of play today. 20 for 47. That's great concentration.
Yeah, and confidence at the plate.
Mauer's a 3-time batting champ and a former MVP. On the ground, Goins at second. That'll end the inning. But Brian Dozier, with a triple off the glove of Carrera in right, drives in his 25th run of the season. Minnesota has taken a 3-2 lead.
Jay's outdoor program is back as well. Join us pregame outside Gate 10 for inflatables, activities, and lots of fun. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases just like the pros. Go to BlueJays.com for more. Always a great time for families on Junior Jays Saturdays. Buck?
Well, it sure is, Barry. Great afternoon entertainment. And as you mentioned, lots of activities outside the stadium before you come into Rogers Center. And then after the game, of course, the kids get to run the bases. New pitcher for the Twins, Casey Fiend, who was just activated off the DL last night.
Yeah, his shoulder is now healed. He was out for about 3 weeks plus a week on rehab. Fiend pitched in last night's game.
Russell Martin goes after the first pitch and pops out to the center fielder. Aaron Hicks, 1 pitch, 1 out for Fiend here in the 8th.
He was their setup man last year. And Paul Mullinger was asked, since he has come off the disabled list, how is he going to be used? Is he going to put him in the 8th inning? And he said, well, I feel real confident with Blaine Boyer out there, who did a good job while he was on the DL. I'm just not sure where I'm going to pitch him. Well, I think actions are showing that they like him back in here in the 8th.
It's a one-run game, and Bean is indeed in the 8th. This is Chris Colabello. Chris is 1 for 3. He singled to right field in the 6th. He went around. Offered it that breaking ball. 0-2. The Blue Jays have scored just 2 runs, and they have had plenty of opportunities. They are 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position this afternoon. They've stranded 8 base runners.
8 runners left on base. 3 double plays in the first 3 innings. Casey Fiend is a guy who throws a lot of strikes. Fastball, breaking ball, basically is what you're going to get. Got one of the best strikeout to walk ratios for the Twins relievers, 5-1. So you know he's going to be around the plate.
Just off the plate, close but away. Blue Jays bullpen is working. Steve Delabar on the left, Roberto Osuna on the right. His pop back over the Twins dugout.
Took a shot inside right there. Every pitch just off the plate. So they change up on Colabello and try to jam him with a fastball.
Colabello had the game-winning home run in last night's game in the 9th inning. A 2-run home run into the bullpen in left center. Covers that outside pitch. I think that one pitch inside was just to try to take a shot inside. They're going to stay away from Colabello.
Yeah, stay away from his power. That was a show me pitch. Here it is. And then right back out there. And that's what hitters think about. When they see a ball on the inner half right there, where do they set their sights after that? And they start looking back outside. That's why it's not a bad idea to double up sometimes.
Way outside, not close. It's a full count now. Ezequiel Carrera is on deck. Inside, caught the corner with that fastball. Colabello is called out on strikes.
Caught him looking outside. They worked him away, and they wanted that one away. And it worked out nicely for him.
Yeah, that's really interesting. He missed his spot all the way across the plate, and Lance Barksdale called Colabello out. Ezequiel Carrera 1 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. There's another base hit for Carrera. The drive of the game is presented by Acura. Luxury begins with the new 8-speed dual clutch 2016 Acura ILX. Catch it if you can.
Fourth inning, after a couple of strikeouts, Kevin Pillar steps to the plate. He gets a changeup from Kyle Gibson, and this is going to be his second home run of the season. Drops it right into the stands for the Blue Jays' first run of the game, and our drive of the game.
Carrera just 1 for 1 in steal attempts. Remember, Herman threw one into center back in the third when Reyes stole second. The catcher got hit in the second inning on his right bicep by a foul ball. We haven't seen him throw in a steal attempt since.
Yeah, Blue Jays haven't even attempted. You know, but if you go, I think you have to be 100% sure that you're going to be safe. There's no guarantee that's going to happen, because you're one batter closer to the middle of the lineup. If I'm John Gibbons, that's what I'm thinking about right now. Thinking about, okay, how can I get the top of the lineup and then Donaldson, Bautista, Encarnacion, my best hitters up before this game is over.
Pillar squared the bunt. Plouffe was way back at third, and he had a good idea. Well, you make such a good point that gets overlooked so often. It's not about getting hits. It's not about extending in. It's about turning the lineup over. And if Carrera runs and gets thrown out, then Pillar starts the ninth. So you're a batter further away from the meat of your order.
From your big guys. And you're going to get Glenn Perkins if it stays like this. If the score stays like that heading into the ninth inning. So left-handed pitcher like Perkins, I want him facing all my righty thumpers.
Pillar has homered, struck out, and walked. He's 1 for 2. He has 3 hits in the first 2 games of this series. This road trip is a real test for the Blue Jays. 2 first-place clubs, Minnesota Twins and Washington Nationals. And then they'll return home to play a 3rd first-place club, the Houston Astros. They're pretty intent on keeping Carrera close at first.
He doesn't even look like he wants to steal right now. He's getting a very good lead, and that's good. 2 outs, you got to score on an extra base hit. The outfield is very deep, especially in left field. You get your big lead like that, take an even bigger secondary lead. So an extra base hit, you can score that tying run.
Pillar strikes out. Bullpen is doing a good job for the Minnesota Twins. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Twins have a 3-2 lead now. Time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zong. Delabar trying to keep it a one-run game will deal with Trevor Plouffe, Eddie Rosario, and Eduardo Escobar in the bottom of the 8th.
There's Steve Delabar's numbers through 8 games. Last pitch 4 days ago where he picked up that win. That was against the Chicago White Sox. An inning and a third with a strikeout. Delabar's fastball seems to be back. And his splitter, which is such a big pitch for him, is back also, averaging almost 12 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Aaron Loup gave up a run on 2 hits in his inning of work. He is the pitcher of record. Twins have a 3-2 lead. Brian Dozier with the go-ahead RBI, a triple off of Loup in the 7th. Cleanup hitter Trevor Plouffe takes first pitch strike from Delabar. Plouffe drove in the second Twins run. That gave the Twins a lead in the 4th. Blue Jays tied it up in the 6th, and the Twins recaptured the lead in the 7th. Reaches for that outside pitch. Donaldson throws on the run in time. 1 down.
Luxury begins with the new 8-speed dual clutch 2016 Acura ILX. Catch it if you can.
Lots of Blue Jay fans here on hand at Target Field for this 3-game series. Eddie Rosario loves to swing it. He's 2 for 3 with a walk. He bunts it foul. Rosario is another one of these farmhands. You remember when the Twins were constantly developing hitters. I mean, they had hitters everywhere. Paul Molitor played later on in his career for the Twins, but there was a time when they had Gaetti and Herbeck and Puckett, and every hitter they brought up, you just knew they could hit. And Rosario appears to be one of those types of hitters. This time he strikes out against that splitter of Delabar.
Brunansky was a young player. He wasn't drafted by the organization, but he was a young player that was developed. As that splitter bounces, and Rosario, and then Justin Morneau came along, and then that bunch, Torrey Hunter, and the center fielders that they've given away. I mean, every year it seems like they come up with good everyday players.
And you can go back to the Oliva, Carew, Killebrew, Allison. I mean, they've had hitters for years here in Minnesota. Eduardo Escobar has gone 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Delabar trying to put up a 0 here at the bottom of the 8th. The hits are even at 9 apiece. The Twins have a 3-2 lead. Blaine Boyer is loosening up, and Pat had mentioned how well he had pitched in the 8th inning in the absence of Casey Fiend. Then Perkins is the closer. He was the losing pitcher in last night's game, but he has worked a lot lately.
Worked a lot, threw a lot of pitches in yesterday's game. So it looks like Blaine Boyer is warming up to possibly trying to finish this off with Paul Molitor.
Monitor's looking at the Blue Jays lineup in the top of the 9th. It is Goins, Reyes, and Donaldson. And if anybody can reach, then it would be Bautista. Way inside off the glove of Martin, back to the screen. Reyes has a hit this afternoon. Donaldson hit in his first at bat. Pulled toward the first baseman. Donachon will step on the bag. Delabar does his job. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 8th. Now it's up to the hitters. They've got to make up a 1-run deficit. It'll be Goins to start things off, then Reyes and Donaldson. Lane Boyer coming in.
Gone, and it is now time to think about swinging into summer with Blue Jays and Safety Day. It goes Wednesday, June the 10th as the Blue Jays host the Marlins at 12:37. First 25,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays team baseball card set. Go to BlueJays.com for more. Any chance there's a Buck Martinez or a Pat Tabler card in that set?
Oh, there may be. It would be an old one. It's probably a little bit wrinkled, but it might be in that set, Barry. New pitcher in the game is Blaine Boyer. He is trying to wrap it up. It's a 1-run game, trying to close out for the Twins.
Veteran, he's been around. He's 33 years old. He elected free agency rather than be sent to AAA last year. That was in November for the Padres. So the Twins signed him as a free agent, and he has been good. Shane Robinson has come in to play left field for Eduardo Escobar. But Boyer has been outstanding so far this season for Minnesota.
Justin Smoke is batting for Ryan Goins, leading off the top of the 9th. He takes one down and away. Smoke has been the best pinch hitter for the Blue Jays. He has 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. Smoke is 4 for 10 as a pinch hitter.
Ball off the plate once again. It's going to be hard to get the ball in the air against Boyer. He's got that heavy sinking fastball. You see it in the low 90s with very good movement. Pretty decent curveball. Blue Jays are going to have to make him get that heavy sinking fastball up.
There's a jam fastball inside as Howard flips to Boyer. He got that fastball in on the handle of Justin Smoke for the first out.
Well, he ran that thing right in on his hands, and Smoke was looking to try and get an extra base hit to get the 9th inning started, and got jammed up. Boyer's always had very good command. He was a 3rd-round draft pick of the Braves back in 2000, so he has been around a long time.
Jose Reyes, he has seen Boyer in the past. He's 3 for 5 as these two met in the National League. There's that late breaking ball, and Boyer's ahead 0-1. There's a fly ball to center. Hicks is over and makes the catch, 2 down. Well, Josh Donaldson got the Blue Jays back in the game in the 5th with a 3-run home run to dead center.
Can he do it again? That's a high fastball from Trevor May. He has come up in the 9th inning the last 3 games. Has delivered the last 2 games against the White Sox. Hit the walk-off home run against David Robertson. Hit the home run in the 9th inning to tie it up against the White Sox, and then that big home run.
Breaking ball inside. Donaldson has homered in 4 straight games. He's tied with Brian McCann for the longest active game with a home run.
And more importantly, the last 3 of them have either tied or given the Blue Jays the lead. Clutch player. Can he do it again?
Hits it to right. Right to Rosario. Ball game. Lane Boyer saves it for the Twins. He retires the side in order in the 9th. And Minnesota has evened the series at a game apiece.
Blue Jays had their chances early against Kyle Gibson. They had 3 double plays in the first 3 innings. They left 8 runners on base. They had their chances. They just couldn't push it across. And the Twins just got enough offense and enough pitching to win this 1-run game.
Well, they have each taken the game. Chris Herman with a home run got the scoring started. Twins win it 3-2. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon. Now time for Blue Jays Central. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn.